I decided to divorce my wife who cheated on me. She begged me to stay, but I kept some conditions to stop the divorce. Wife of 11 years, 2 kids 11 and 9. She cheated for 8 months. I knew for the last 3, still working on it. Looking for additional advice and sharing my experience since I got a lot of help from reading this sub. Long story short, married to wife for 11 years, 2 kids 11 and 9. She cheated for 8 months. I knew for the last 3. I did not confront her until I had evidence lined up, including video, and a separation agreement in hand from a solid lawyer. This is about 9 months ago. I guess it would be called D-Day here. I waited for her to get home from her affair partner. She had no idea that I knew anything. The second she saw me sitting at the table, she got very nervous. I asked her to sit down because we needed to talk. I was totally cried out at this point and didn't really care. I had decided to divorce was the only option the day I first found out. Wife sits down looking very panicked. Wife, you are scaring me? What is this about? Me. I am not here to discuss your infidelity. I know everything. I am here to sort out our separation and divorce. I put my wedding ring on top of the folder with the separation agreement inside and pushed it in front of her. The wife starts bawling, begging, apologizing, pleading. All the usual stuff. We get nowhere. I just toss whatever she comes up with back in her face. I love you. Me. You hurt me the worst I have ever been hurt and sleep with other men because you love me so much? After a couple of hours I tell her to go to a hotel and that we will continue tomorrow. I tell her if she doesn't sign the separation agreement I will tell everyone today what she has been doing. I know signed under duress, but at the time I just wanted it to end. She ends up signing, she leaves and I receive messages and calls all night. I answer occasionally in one short responses. Mainly, I will not read this message or talk to you until tomorrow afternoon. The next day the severity of the situation has sunk in with her. She begs for another chance, marriage counseling, etc. She will do anything. I informed her that I would file on Monday and that she had 90 days to convince me that divorce is a mistake. I don't know why I offered that. I was weak. I had decided to end it and I just folded. The next day I had prepared a list of things she had to do. I didn't show it to her, I just told her the list existed and unless she abided by it we would be no contact apart from the kids and that the divorce would be unstoppable and I would inform everyone of what she had been doing. I also informed her that even perfect compliance was no guarantee that we would not divorce, that my trust in her at this point was below zero and that I didn't even love her anymore. She killed what we had and the only reason I considered reconciling and building something new was our kids. I didn't mean to say this. Again, I couldn't follow through on what I had decided to do. The list consisted of the following. 1. No lines. She had to make a document of everything she had done with him. Describe how it started. What in her mind gave the right to do this to me, to her own children? If she cut corners, rose-tinted anything or omitted anything, all efforts on my part would be over. 2. Full access to all social media, phones, computer, her salary and bank statements. 3. She would report where she is and what she does at all times. 4. Individual for her 2 to 3 times a week until she could understand her own choices, only later marriage counseling. She agreed, made the list, gave me access. Then I told her about point 5, 6, 7 in sequence only after she carried out each task. 5. She had to meet App's wife face to face and tell her everything and hand over all the evidence she had and offer to be a witness in court if needed. She refused at first. She managed to say she couldn't do that to him. I pointed out that she made a choice App's feelings over her own family. If she didn't do this, this reconciliation attempt was over. I was going to tell App's wife if she didn't. If she wouldn't own this, there was no willingness from my end. If I had to tell her, there would be no chance of ever reconciling. In the end she agreed and actually told App's wife everything. App's wife slapped her, kicked her, pulled her hair, screamed at her. Wife took it and didn't fight back. I didn't protect her. She got some gashes and some bald spots. In the car afterwards I informed her that AP had been seeing another woman in addition to my wife, and showed her the evidence from the private investigator I hired. I am ashamed of how much I enjoyed watching her pain when she realized she was just another piece of meat to this guy. 5. She had to explain herself to the kids and what the likely outcome for a family would be. 6. Explain what she had done to everyone in our family and our friends. 7. I would have an affair for 3 months. I would lie to her face, sneak around behind her back, form a deep emotional relationship with another woman. I needed her to understand what she asked me to forgive, the humiliation, the pain. She would understand we risked that I could fall in love and leave her for my AP. At the end of the 3 months I would tell her everything truthfully. Number 7 was especially hard on both of us. I would sneak around and act like I was cheating. I had Tinder installed. I would make sure she got glimpses of it every now and again. I would pretend I was secretly texting. I would go out and be gone all night. I would go away for weekends. In reality I wasn't seeing anyone. I just stayed in hotels, rented cabins and Airbnbs. I would just get drunk most of the time and cry. Wife was freaking out more and more. I felt terrible as well. I hated it. I could barely do it and I was only pretending? She did it with such ease. I think this is the hardest part for me. I can't see her in the same light. I wanted to show her what she asked me to forgive, but instead I learned what a horrible person you have to be to do this to someone else. We are now in marriage counseling and she is making progress, me not so much. Some days are worse than others, I guess. For now I keep the divorce papers on the ready. For some reason I have not pulled the trigger. Not entirely sure if I understand why. We haven't been intimate or very close, but we are not fighting anymore, so I guess that is progress. She is very apologetic. I know we have a long way to go. Who knows where we will end up. I can't get past how terrible I felt when I pretended, yet she did it with ease. I just can't see her in a positive light. I see her as a monster. I wish I ended the first day, but now that I have dragged us both so far along. Is there any way for me to move past seeing her like this? I have forgiven the rest. I just can't get past this. Edit. I told her that I hadn't actually been seeing anyone after just 7 weeks. I couldn't keep up the charade. I just felt horrible from it. Edit 2. Thank you for all the helpful input. I will take my new perspectives and see if I can make any progress. I will post an update in a few weeks if anything works. Now for the top comments and advice. I used to wonder if maybe the reason he cheated and I didn't is simply because he had the opportunity, but I wasn't tempted in the same way. But I eventually understood, as you have, that infidelity is hundreds if not thousands of deliberate decisions to disrespect you. Even pretending to do it sickens you, yet she did all that and had it in her to keep lying, manipulating, gaslighting you and your family and your friends. I can't say you'll ever move past this realization to see her the way you used to. I can say perhaps that's why you've held on to the divorce papers this long, to finish what she started. Divorce doesn't end the marriage, the cheating already did. This is what I'm thinking too. But still I can't seem to pull the trigger and end it. For some reason I am holding on. I see her as a monster now. I just don't know if I can change that. I will bring it up in counseling as well. Thank you. Just a note that if it's a marriage counselor, it's usually in their interest to keep the couple together. If you don't have an individual counselor, I suggest to try that. It's great for an unbiased perspective. I gave the cheater the choice to end the marriage and he did. Maybe it's not so much about who pulls the trigger, but how long will you suffer in a dying marriage just to see if it can be fixed? I will get a counselor for myself. If you didn't have the stomach to torture her as revenge, you should have just ended it. It takes a special person to revel in others' dread. Yes, it was hard. I thought it would be good for me. That hurting her would make me feel better. But in reality I just damaged myself. I have nightmares about pretending to cheat still. On really bad nights I have horrific dreams of actually cheating. I'm so sorry you were betrayed and hope you can find a path to peace. I sort of think you should just explain this to her. Show her how maddened her treasury had made you, but then regain your sanity by ending it right there and then. She will have felt the full weight of consequence due to her actions and you will have an actual chance to heal. Don't try to force something that will only cause you more pain. I have talked to her about it. She has tried to trivialize it earlier. I guess I just don't trust or believe her. Maybe that's why I'm staying around? To get her to see this. Face it. Thanks for watching this video. Your comments are highly appreciated. If you like this video, please subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the notification bell as well.